Came up on Fried Bologna, boy, what you expect?
Hello?
What's up, bro?
Hey, man, not much. Long time no talk to. How you feeling, man?
Oh, man. Doing all right, man. How about yourself?
I'm cool, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Everybody that I've spoken to over the last week that has been clamoring for a new Fried Bologna call has been wondering where we've been. And I had to let them know not only were we grinding, taking care of business, but our boy IQ was a little under the weather. So I just want to know that you're okay.
Yeah, man, I'm doing better, man. Appreciate the concern out there. Yeah, man. She was real, man. Got a cold during the summer, so go figure. But I'm doing better, man. Yeah. It doesn't feel right.
Yeah, you should get. What's the opposite of having a cold? It should be like a summer warm or something. Like, something that just makes you feel better. Right. Yeah. It's like summer?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it shouldn't. That shouldn't happen that way. To all of our listeners out there, this is Tim and TC.
And this your boy High IQ.
And this is the immortal Fried Bologna podcast.
The podcast is random as Donald Trump wanted Americans to be more like North Korean citizens.
Yep, there you have it, folks. There you have it. He wants us to all be under a dictatorship where whatever he says goes. We can't question it, or it's punishable by death or enslavement.
Now, to be fair, he later cleared that up and said, "Oh, I was just joking." But that's how it starts.
That's a joke.
That's how it starts.
That's a joke these days? Like, imagine if Obama made that joke. Actually, Obama talked about sitting down with some of our enemies. And do you remember how bad of an idea that was? He wants to pal around with dictators. Do you remember that?
That's right. Yeah.
So all of a sudden, give Donald Trump a Nobel Peace Prize for sitting down with Donald Trump. Or excuse me, with Kim Jong-un. Which basically, it is Donald Trump sitting down with Donald Trump. So I guess I was kind of right.
Everything he does, like, I'm going to be honest, like, at this point, I just kind of skim the headlines when it comes to him, because I know if I, like, really dive into the the articles or the news stuff, I'm just going to be like, I can't believe this is actually happening. So, I was shocked to hear. I heard that, he was had this meeting planned at this summit, and I was like, okay, well, this is not for the people. There's something that he's trying to do to better his situation. I mean, this is not for American people, really. This is not for peace. But then I made the mistake of kind of like reading briefly. I think I saw something like on the New York Times. And usually when leaders meet and they're, hashing out, politics, usually like there's like literature being passed back and forth. Like, here's the plan, or here's what we're proposing. But apparently, Donald Trump pretty much presented like almost like a marketing piece. A video of like horses running on water, and I was like, "This is this is what you do like when you're trying to pitch like a new hotel to investors. This isn't politics. What the fuck?"
Yeah, it was like a
joke
trailer.
Yeah, North Korea, USA. What the fuck? Everything's becoming a joke.
Yeah, and to your point, usually when, leaders meet, they're discussing business. They're discussing, things like world peace, things like sustainable energy, things that are going to make the world a better and safer place to live in. Donald Trump has no idea what any of those things are. No clue. So to think that he can sit down with another world leader and talk about serious shit, you're fooling yourselves. To be honest, I honestly, and take this for what you will, I'm pretty sure Kim Jong-un is more qualified to run a country than Donald Trump. I'm pretty sure he has a better idea of like world matters and national matters than Donald Trump does. Like actual things that politicians need to know. I'm certain Kim Jong-un does. And even though he is a murderous dictator, I still find him to be more qualified than Donald Trump. And that doesn't say very much.
I mean, that's a fair statement to make. I mean, and I think it's safe to say that, I mean, as far as qualifications go, that just may mean him just reading reports that come across his desk. Because reading is not Donald Trump's thing. He's said it, you know. The other thing is, like, you know, you've been bombarded with footage of them like shaking hands in front of the American and Korean flag, right? And I just get so sick and tired of, like, it's like they both read like a book, like how to like meet with foreign people, because it's like they're doing all these subtle things, like they shake hands and like they'll pat each other on the back. It's like they read the same book. And then the media eats it up, like, oh, well, they're obviously cordial here. There you see a couple pats on the back, and a long handshake. It's like they've been trained to do this, you know. It's like I'm not looking at anything like that and I'm not taking anything away from that. Oh man, but it's hard to root for this shit.
So while they're meeting, I have a question for you, and a question that I'm sure you've literally never thought about. And I don't blame you for never thinking about the question I'm going to ask you, because it is from left field. Do you think they measured their own dicks in front of one another to see who has a bigger one, or better yet, who has a smaller one? And I don't mean like a dick measuring contest metaphorically. I mean, they both pulled out their dicks and measured them. Do you think? Okay. Do you think they did that?
So you had me. I thought you did mean metaphorically.
Mm-mm.
But no, yeah, this is coming completely out of left field. Yeah. Look, if you ask that question to me with any other president, I'm like, you're nuts. What are you talking about? Look, my question, my answer to that is like, with Donald Trump, probably. Like, I don't know. Like, probably. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if you told me, like, if you asked, like, hey, do you think they probably just went in there and played Madden? I'm like, possibly. Possibly. They probably just played Madden or Halo, you know? Possibly. And I'm being serious. They may not have discussed anything.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Kim Jong-un has a bigger dick than Donald Trump. Not by much. But, you know, it's like the difference between a fun-sized Snickers and a bite-sized Snickers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you both get them from Halloween, and neither of them are, you know, very, very satisfying.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's another topic we need to talk about, like the Halloween candy issue.
Yeah, I guess.
All
Yeah,
these kids
how about
putting work in?
Yeah, let's save that for our Halloween episode. Also, since we're talking about Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un, your boy Dennis Rodman's out there making a goddamn fool of himself yet again.
Yeah, I saw him crying on CNN about something. Please fill me in. What was he crying about? I don't know the whole story here.
So, Dennis Rodman, one of the greatest rebounders, or the greatest rebounder and very, very great defender of all time. Hall of Fame basketball player, decorated career. I think 5-time champion. He is friends with Kim Jong-un. How they met, how they cultivated a friendship, only God knows, or God adjacent, whatever you believe in. So we know last year, maybe a couple years ago, we saw him with Kim Jong-un, and he was talking like a wrestler about Kim Jong-un, and I'll tell you what, brother, Kim Jong-un is my best friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was saying some crazy shit like that. So that didn't rub people the right way. And he was receiving death threats. And Dennis Rodman got pretty emotional about the death threats that he was receiving. And he was also wearing a Make America Great Again hat. And before I let you respond to this, I just want to let you know the black people we have supporting Donald Trump. The kind of black people we have supporting Donald Trump. So far, we've got Kanye West, or Kanye West, as a lot of people are describing him now. And you got Dennis Rodman. Now, if anybody out there thinks that these two motherfuckers speak for any of us other black people, you're out of your goddamn mind. They are not a fair representation of the rest of us. So don't say, well, you have black people who also support Donald Trump. They are not. We don't group them the same way that we group other black people.
Yeah. This is like Sean Penn going to talk to El Chapo. It's like, well, Sean Penn thinks he's a good guy, so he must be misunderstood. No. Sean Penn did that on his own. Nobody supported that. No white people supported that. Yeah.
So, what do you think about Kim Jong-un and Dennis Rodman's relationship? Do you have an opinion on it?
I just think, look, I think here's the best way I can describe that relationship. I think it's kind of like you have a girl and a guy finds the girl really attractive. And, the girl decides like, hey, you know what? I'll hang out with you. We can maybe do something on the weekend. And the guy comes back telling his boys like, yo, like, we really hit it off. Like, I think we could probably be in a relationship. The girl, on the other hand, just literally looked at that as like, we had fun, but you're thrown into the friend zone abyss. Like, there's nothing coming out of this, right? I think that's a similar situation. I think, Kim, if I may call him Kim, I think he just likes basketball. And I think he was a fan of the Bulls. And it's like, hey, this is Rodman playing on the Bulls with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Like, yeah, I will come hang out. But I think Dennis is like, we're boys. Like, and I'm going to tell you all the things that I feel like we need to do to make America and North Korea, get along. And I think
we're
Kim just
stay
kind
on
of
the
like
phone late at night and discuss
right.
everything. I'm going to tell you all about my day.
Right. I think Kim's like, okay, yeah. But so like that game when you played against the Sonics in the finals, I think there's a lot of. I don't think there's any real dialogue happening. I think Kim is just really talking about basketball, and Dennis is talking about politics. I think that's what's going on here.
Yeah, and what kind
Kim's
of scary world do we live in where Dennis Rodman is talking about politics with anybody?
Right. That part. Yeah.
I don't want to cast any aspersions, but Dennis Rodman does not seem like a very well educated person in the matter of politics. Dennis, if you're listening, I hope you can prove me wrong. But anybody who has lived the life like you have does not strike the rest of us as a person who takes matters of politics seriously. That's all.
Yeah. Maybe we can possibly get Dennis on the show. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he'll make himself available. So Dennis,
what
if you're
does he
listening,
do every day?
come on, Fried Bologna. I don't know. I mean, last I heard, he was just hanging out with Kim, and I think he was playing in some semi-pro league, probably averaging 40 rebounds a game. But other than that, I don't know.
Well, if he's planning a semi-pro league in North Korea with a whole bunch of North Koreans, Dennis Rodman would look like a giant amongst other North Koreans. They'd have to stand on each other's shoulders in order to even attempt a basket with Dennis Rodman on the court. So,
good point. Yeah.
North Koreans aren't
Yeah.
traditionally or historically tall people.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Dennis is probably a monster out there. Yeah.
Yeah, they probably think he's Godzilla. Wait, is it? No, those aren't Koreans. Those are Chinese people.
That's Japanese. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, I think we've covered all the Asian countries. India. Anyway, moving right along. So I sent you a video last week of a young man who went to the bank to withdraw $60, three $20 bills, to pay for 15 minutes of pleasure with a hooker. Not a very attractive hooker. But that's neither here nor there. But this young man really wanted to lose his virginity. Mm-hmm. And it only cost him $60. And he proceeded to record the event leading up to it, him telling his friends that, hey, yo, y'all niggas don't have a bank account. I'm heading down a bank account to get $60. I'm about to lose my virginity today. Like, he was stunting on his friends. And then he recorded, afterwards, he's like, yo, I just lost my virginity. What the rest of y'all niggas doing? Twiddling your thumbs? I don't know. I just fucked. So $60 got him 15 minutes with a sloppy hooker. My question to you is, was that money well spent?
Me personally, absolutely not. Now, when I watched that video, now keep in mind, like, sometimes you send me videos and I don't really know the whole context, so I'm like, okay, that's okay. Social media, okay, of course, the guy's happy that he lost his virginity, but then when I found out, like, he took some money out and paid for it. You know what it kind of felt like? It felt like when you're like at the last game of the season for a high school team, and then they put that guy that hasn't played all year in, and he scores a basket. You're happy for him, but you're also embarrassed for him. Like, oh wait, he didn't play the whole damn season. Oh, okay, good job on the layup. And that's kind of how I felt. Like, I felt embarrassed for him, but I kind of did feel happy for him because he was ecstatic. This is like he was on top of the world.
Yeah.
Me personally, I come from an era where it's like, hey, we don't got to pay for that. Especially when you lose your virginity, it's like, you want to earn that. You want to earn your starting spot on varsity. You don't want to get on the team just because you paid the coach $60 to put you in or something, right? So, well, to me, it's an L. But to him, I congratulate him on the W. That's the best way I can put it.
That is a very well thought out reaction. And I agree and disagree. Right? So I agree with everything you said first. But here's kind of where I disagree. So if something is for sale, right? Whether it be candy, whether it be a computer, or anything else that I'm looking around to point out to say that it's for sale. Like, who's to say you can't buy it, right? We all know that these things can be for free but they're also for sale at certain places. So maybe it's me being from Las Vegas who has no problem with prostitution. Not that it's my world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't dabble in prostitutes. I want to make that perfectly clear. But I also don't really care if people pay for it. And losing your virginity is kind of like an overrated event in your life. Like prom. It doesn't really matter in the big scope of things. It doesn't matter how you got it. It just matters that you did get it. So for this kid, like, losing his virginity was just something to do. So, I don't know. It's not my way. It's not the most respectful way to do it to those who care about being respectful. But, yo, he went and spent $60 for some ass. More power to you, young man. I hope that doesn't start. Like, if you get caught, you're going to jail. You should just know that right now, because soliciting prostitution is illegal. But if you don't get caught, man, get it how you live.
And and then it's for the world to see. For the world to see too. But,
yeah, that was very irresponsible. Yeah. But this is how these new niggas do. Like they like, yeah, they really like recording themselves doing dumb shit.
Yeah.
But speaking of virginity and losing it, IQ, I got a question for you, man. Do you remember when you lost your virginity? And if you do, you mind sharing?
Man, so I think I was like 15, man. And look, it was I don't know how your school was set up, but at my high school we had you had like these like certain days where it's like, okay, we're letting school out early. So I was like, oh, where? So I talked to my girlfriend at the time. I was like, hey, why don't you come up to the crib?
Like it's yours.
Like, well, I don't know.
Like the crib is yours.
I know, right? Yeah. Come over to my bachelor pad, the 15-year-old says. So she was like, she was like, oh, I don't know. I got cheerleading practice, blah, 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 blah. I was like, you know what? Okay, don't trip.
Smashing cheerleaders.
I'll come to your crib. So, I go to her crib. It's like around noon or whatever, right? And, I'm hyped the fuck up, like, when I was in high school, I was kind of like, I hung out with a lot of older kids, so, like, the older kids had been there, done that, mm-hmm. So they were rooting for me, like, oh, word, this about to go down. I was like, yeah, bruh, it's going down, right? So, I'm like, they like the advice proceeds. I'm taking notes. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, do that, okay, yeah. Like give her some juice. Okay, got it. I'm taking out all these notes from these older kids and shit. And so I get to her crib, walk upstairs to her room, and look, I'm gonna be honest with you. It hit me. Like, I was like, this shit about to go down. Like, you have that moment where it's like, this is real. This is reality. Right? It's like that moment where it's like, damn, we about to win the NBA finals. So, I don't want to get too graphic here, but it goes down, right? And
nigga, we need details. Our fan base deserves details.
I'm trying to keep it vague because she listens to the show probably.
Yeah,
so,
I just
shout out to yeah. So
shouts out.
The only thing that here's the thing that I was like so proud of myself about, right? So like I remember like looking at the clock when we started and it said 1:00. When we finished, it said 1:27. I said, job well done, shit. IQ. Yeah, 27 minutes in. Shit. I was worried. I was thought, like, start at 1:00, ends at 1:01. I was nervous as fuck, right? But I was like, okay.
27 minutes of penetration?
Right. Right. 27 the first time. Right.
That's a hell
And then
of a
like
feat. That's a hell of a feat today.
and it hit me because then like I was like, wait a minute. This shit is all mental. Like kind of like sports. Wait a minute. I can be good at this. Right? And so like I was like, this is all it takes? Just to think about something else when you're getting close, you know? So at that time I'm like, I'm thinking about like, what porn star name I'm gonna go by? Shit like that. You're young and dumb as a kid, So so it ends. I clean myself up, walk downstairs, walk up the house, like
you're a man. Your chest is
like
puffed out.
Yeah, I walked out with a full grown beard and chest hair, and I'm playing it cool, I'm playing it cool, walking out there, and one of my older friends picks me up, right?
Wait,
and,
I'm sorry. Was she a virgin too?
She was, yeah.
Okay.
And that's so one of my older friends picks me up, and I get in the car, and he's like, "What's up, man? What's up?" And I was like, "Drive. I'll tell you about it." Right? So I'm cool. I'm still playing it cool, like, but as soon as we turn that corner where I know she can no longer see that car, I turn into a giddy little bitch. I'm like, "Bruh, okay, here's what happened." Blah 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 blah. And yeah, that was the time IQ lost her virginity, man. That was a memorable moment because you know why? Cause I worked for it, bro. I earned it. And I didn't take no shortcuts and pay for it. I earned it. I always remember that. That was a special time. So
yeah, man.
Yeah. What about you, man? What's your story?
Well, I'm gonna have to start at the beginning. Like any good story is at the beginning. So at this time, it's 11th grade. I'm talking to two girls, right? One girl is a very quiet, meek, conservative young lady. The other one has sex written all over her face. So there's no surprise with chick I was trying to go after. Most of my close friends had already lost their virginity, and I had not at the time. So I knew if I would have went with the chick who exuded sexuality at the time, that there was a better chance than not I was going to lose my virginity, and quick. And I was right. All in one fell swoop. Well, actually, this is over the course of a week. So, we started talking, exchanged phone numbers, talking, on the phone. And then she had a car. She drove, which was dope. This is 11th grade. None of us had cars. I didn't have my driver's license yet. So she drove. And so throughout that week, I saw my first vagina in person. I touched my first vagina and also had sex with my first vagina all in the same week. Again,
best week ever.
Yeah, best week ever. Again, I knew that this was going to go down if I pursued this young lady. And again, like I said, I was right. So one day after school, me and her, my homeboy, and her homegirl drove to my homeboy's house. His parents weren't home. They were at work. His siblings weren't home either. This was the perfect opportunity. So he knew to keep her friend company. Now, her friend wasn't very attractive. So my buddy wasn't trying to get with her. He was just trying to keep her company for an extended period of time while I was trying to go do my thing. So we're in his room. He gave me specific instructions. Don't go on my bed. It's like, all right, cool, whatever. So, so we're on the floor. Now, again, I've never had sex before, so I didn't have any condoms. I didn't even know where they sold them. Apparently, they sell them at stores. I found that out later in life. So, we go to his room. We're on the floor. We're doing the whole kissing thing, and then Oh, she wasn't a virgin, by the way. That's probably why she exuded so much sexuality. And so we're about to get started, and mentally I'm ready. Physically, however, I was not. I couldn't get hard for at least 10 minutes. I was scared. I was a child. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. This was a very, very scary time for me. Exciting, but scary. She was very understanding. Apparently, she's seen this all before. So, she, was walking me through everything, allowed me to build up some confidence. And then when I was ready, I just decided to try to do what I saw in the movies. And it seemed like she enjoyed it. The sounds would imply that she was enjoying it. And so much like your story where you looked at the clock and it was one time, look at it was another, I really thought that this wouldn't last very long either. But I am pleased and or embarrassed to tell you that I didn't even finish my first time. So I thought, yo, I might be built for this too. There could be a potential career for me too. Like maybe you decide when you're going to come. Maybe that's something you consciously decide. I found out the second time we had sex that no, that wasn't a conscious decision because it probably was between 42 seconds and maybe 51 seconds. It didn't last very long at all. She didn't seem to be bothered by that either. Maybe she understood. Again, she's seen it all before. So then my buddy comes, like, as I'm, getting busy, he bangs on the door and he's like, yo, TC, my parents going to be home soon. We got to get out of here. So I'm like, all right, give me a minute. And he's like, nah, man. He opens the door. She jumps up, runs into the closet because she's obviously butt ass naked. And I'm, covering myself like, yo, dude. He's like, oh, my bad. But hurry up, throw your clothes because we got to get going in a minute. So, yeah, that was my first experience. Didn't come, no condom on my friend's floor.
Oh man. Hey, so a couple things. It's interesting that I guess for a majority of everyone's first time, males, it seems like we all may have thought that we had a career in the industry. And later found out that is definitely not the case.
No.
And it kind of reminds me, that now that we're sharing these stories, it kind of reminds me of something I want to kind of talk to you about. And I think we've both experienced this because we both played sports back in the day. And correct me if I'm wrong here, but we've both had moments in high school due to sports where you're maybe for a week or maybe just for a day after a game, who knows, depending on the sport, your pussy value skyrockets. Mm-hmm. Right? Where it's like, oh man, TC caught the game winning touchdown, right? Mm-hmm. And it's an amazing feeling. But you know what's an even more amazing feeling than that is like maybe you're not playing the game and you witness that happen to your friend. You like stand up clapping like a proud father, like, man, you're genuinely happy for the dude. Like my boy caught the game winning touchdown to beat our high school rival. Now granted, there's levels to it. Like, of course, like if you're at, the University of Miami, you get a game winning touchdown. Well, come on. Like that's.
Yeah, you're going to Tootsie's and
that's
having
like hitting
a hell of a time.
Right. But like witnessing it's like you're there on the ride with your homie, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you remember this, but one of the proudest moments, being your close friend is we were both playing in this basketball tournament at a local community college, and it was like a co-ed 3-on-3 game. Now, I remember it's kind of bittersweet here because what happened was I had finished playing my round of basketball, so me and my other two teammates were sitting in the stands. Now, you were on the court playing, so I turned to talk to one of my female teammates at the time, and I'm talking to her, and I just hear the crowd go, "Oh!" And I look, and I'm like, "What happened?" We both don't know what happened. And then our other teammate, he's like, "Oh, TC just shitted on somebody," and I was like, "He dunked on somebody in front of all these people?" I literally stood up and I saluted you because I knew what was about to happen. I said, "It's gonna skyrocket. This is gonna last for a week."
Yeah.
Now I don't know if you remember that, but I was proud to be your friend.
Yeah. I do remember that. I remember that very well. I remember the play. I remember the reaction because we shut down the game for about 5 minutes before we resumed.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. People were running onto the court. It was like and one. In all fairness, though, IQ, at the time I did build a reputation of dunking, like in games. You came to a lot of our games in college, and about once every other game or so, I did get a dunk. But in this particular tournament, because it was intramural, so everybody was there participating or playing. So it did help that we did have an informal audience. Yeah, man, that was a good week.
And now that we're older, like when you're in a moment, you're just like, man, like that was an incredible dunk. But you don't think about the collateral damage it causes. Like now your value increased drastically. But now that I'm older, I think about the unimaginable dip of the guy that got dunked on, what he went through the following week. There was no play probably for the rest of the month, unless he had a steady girlfriend. But good luck trying to talk to somebody if you don't have a girlfriend after you got shitted on in front of everybody. No.
Yeah, we haven't talked since.
So, I didn't think you did. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it was a very, it's like stock market rises in one country and just completely crashes in another.
Right. Yeah, man.
Getting dunked on is not the worst thing that can happen to you. It's really not. But the way you get dunked on can be the worst thing that's ever happened to you.
I agree.
There's levels to it.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for remembering that. I almost forgot.
That was a damn good memory, man. Like I said, like, look, hey, we're both men now. I'm going to keep it real. A tear came down. A tear rolled down. I thought it was my allergy, but I was like, I'm happy. I'm happy for this guy. Like, the value, it's like your friend has a startup and he comes to you and he's like, hey, we just got $1 billion in funding. I'm like, oh my God. Now, the other thing that I thought about now that we're older is, now granted, you experienced that on a higher level than I did, but I did experience it quite a few times in high school. And it hits you that there are some people that never experienced that in high school or middle school. They never experienced like a skyrocket of value where it's like you have the option like, hey, I always like Kelly. Let me go holler at her really quick. You never have that. And I think that's what ends up where you end up, taking your $60 and you do what you got to do and you pay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think I've experienced probably that maybe twice or 3 times in my life to where I felt like my stock rose. And it wasn't all from Duncan or nothing like that. One, I just transferred schools and they knew I was there to play basketball. And then a few months later, I had to leave that school to another school and they didn't give a fuck about me. So it was like it was a monumental fall off. But it was good while it lasted.
Yeah, man. Now here we are. It's like those prime years are behind us, and
oh yeah,
we're just doing 9-to-5 jobs now.
We are definitely past our prime.
Yeah, your value doesn't increase when it's like, hey, you did a good job on that report. No, it's not the same thing, bruh.
No more 72-10 seasons.
For the Milwaukee Bucks and shit now.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We are about a little over 40 minutes into this call, and IQ, if it's okay with you, I'd like to get into my unfuckwittable.
Oh yeah, let's do this.
Nobody.
IQ, you know how irritated I get with what people seem to care about. I just do.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I really hate is when a celebrity posts a picture of their kid and they get 1 million likes in 2 minutes. And everybody's commenting about how adorable that kid is and blah blah blah. IQ, my unfuckwittable for the week are children of celebrities. Now, I know on his face this might seem like the most insensitive thing that I have said yet, and hear me out, because it's not the fault of the kid, and it's actually not even the fault of the celebrities. It's all the sheep that concern themselves with celebrities' kids. I don't give a fuck about celebrities' kids. If I never saw them, if they never had kids, if I couldn't care less, because they couldn't care less about my kid. You know who's people's kids I care about? Family's kids, friends' kids, people who actually I have relationships with. If they post pictures of their kids online and I happen to be on the social medias at the time that they post, yeah, I'll like it. I might even comment. But if I see a picture of Northwest or Saint West or Blue Ivy or the twins that they got, fuck those kids. I don't care about those kids. Those kids are no more important or no less important than anybody else's kids. But what makes them even less important to me is how somehow the masses give a fuck about their kids. Why? Why? I'll ask one more time. Why? Maybe there's somebody out there that can answer this question for me. Maybe there's somebody out there whose life is dull and boring and somehow feels a connection to Beyonce's kids, to Kanye West's kids, to fucking Gwyneth Paltrow's kids, to Angelina Jolie's fucking football team worth of kids. Maybe somebody out there does give a damn. I don't. That is all.
Well, we might get pulled off the air on that one, but I understand where you're coming from. I really do, because I think we're both on social media a lot, and I have seen things where it's like, hey, breaking news, this baby saved a baby of a baby that was drowning, right? And it's like 100,000 likes, and it's like, compare that to, hey, look at this hat that Northwest is wearing, 1 billion likes and retweets. It's like, we're screwed. It's like I said, we're doomed here.
What do I look like retweeting or sharing a picture of somebody else's kid who don't even fucking know me? What do I look like?
Yeah. Especially when, and look, I don't want to come across bitter here, but especially when it's like, it's hard out here living. And it's like, that kid got a better life than you. It's like, man, I don't want to hear about this kid's new Maserati.
That kid
and he's 2 years old.
World 1,000 steps ahead of me. Can't even talk yet. Can't even shit in a toilet. Can't feed itself.
Yeah.
Can't sit up straight. And I'm supposed to like this kid?
Man.
Nah, man, fuck that kid.
Yeah, it's like, we're big hip hop guys, and it's some artists out here that have been struggling and grinding for years, and just now getting recognition that they deserve. And then you go on social media and you find out that DJ Khaled's son signed a $1 million record deal with Def Jam or something. It's like, this can't be life, right? So
you find out Drake's
but they
kid
rub it in your face.
Apparently has some deal with Adidas.
Right. Drake's son got a better shoe deal than the Greek Freak. It's like, how is this?
How come Drake's son has a better shoe deal than Klay Thompson? Klay Thompson shoots
whatever
threes.
Fucking shoe company. Yeah, and that kind of reminds me of a point I wanted to make, because watching the NBA nonstop, playoffs, and even during the regular season, I try to catch some games, and it's like the NBA. There may not be a better representation of how unfair life is when it comes to the NBA. And I'll give you a prime example. So, and it's a good thing that the players do, but I wish they kind of like think it through better. So game ends, let's say it's the Warriors versus the Cavs. And I'm sure you've seen this on social media. That's right. Yeah. I'm sure you've seen this on social media where it's like, okay, game ends. Oh, hey, this is nice. Klay Thompson just gave his jersey to this fan. Or LeBron James just signed some sneakers for this kid. And gave them to him, right? And on the surface level, you're like, damn, that's pretty dope. I'm happy for that kid. But then you realize, wait a minute, that kid sitting in the front row.
Mm-hmm.
He's always in the front row. Like what they should do is like,
kid.
Yeah, they should climb. Yeah, that kid's parents are probably millionaires, or they're making good enough money, and that kid's probably, somewhat spoiled or privileged.
Has better
and it's like, meanwhile,
than those kids that can't even watch the game on TV.
Right. And then there's kids at the very, 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 very top of the arena. Their parents scraped up some change, and bought like $11 tickets. And all they see on the court is just dots. Right?
Well, and
a ball going into a hoop.
And Warriors games. They were at fucking Detroit Piston games.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, Detroit Piston. Yeah, and it's like, damn, those kids will not even they won't even get a chance to probably meet Klay or LeBron, but they damn sure ain't getting signed sneakers and jerseys. I was like, this shit is not fair. What they should do is they should just like launch them. They should just sign some sneakers and just Joe Montana that shit as hard as they can to the top rows.
Yeah. They should put in one of those t-shirt cannons and fire it up there.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Oh.
But I guess a lot of people would have a problem with that because it's like, we're not all equal, and what we want the race to just take care of the needy.
Yeah, what kind of world, what kind of country do you think we live in?
Yeah, equality?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about the worst thing I experienced this week, talking about sports and the Warriors. The worst thing I experienced this week. So, as you know, I take public transportation here in the Bay Area. It's called the BART. The parade was this week for the bitch-ass Golden State Warriors. I get on the BART, ready for work. It's early. I'm not in a good mood in the morning. Not in a bad mood. Just not in a good mood. I get on the BART. I get to the BART station and I see an abundance of people in blue and yellow. And I realized, oh shit, the goddamn parade is today. So I see him at the BART station. I get through the turnstile, go up the escalator, wait for the stop, or wait for the train to come. I get on, and all I see is a sea of people in Warriors gear. Couldn't have been a worse morning for me getting ready for work. Couldn't have been worse. And then when they finally all got to the stop they needed to in Oakland, all I hear when the doors open was the Warriors chant. And when I tell you I had the worst day at work, IQ, it was the worst day I've had at work.
Oh.
It was torture, man.
Oh,
Pure
God.
torture. I was reading a book, and I couldn't even concentrate on the words. I might have to reread that chapter because I have no idea what I read. I was just stewing.
Oh, I couldn't imagine, man. And there's nowhere for you to go. You know,
No.
like at least here in LA, like when I wasn't the biggest Laker fan, growing up here, but at least here in LA, you had a lot of casuals like go Lakers, after they won championships, but you could get away from it. It was just like people honking their horns and stuff, but you're like, I'm not going out today. I don't want to deal with that. But you're trapped.
Mm-hmm.
You're trapped on the train.
Shoulder to shoulder with somebody who has no idea about basketball. Somebody who has no idea about the fact that the Warriors had the biggest bitch in NBA history on their team. Doesn't care. Their team won.
Yeah.
But that very same person in about 3-4 seasons won't even give a shit about the Warriors anymore. That's the surprise.
3-4 seasons.
3 or 4 seasons from
3-4 seasons. 3 days. 3 days from now, they're not going to give a fuck about the Warriors. They're just caught up in the moment. They give a fuck about basketball.
That is very true. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Did I say fuck the Warriors yet on today on this podcast? Haven't said that yet?
Not this episode, no.
Oh, well, fuck the Warriors.
Yeah. Let it out, man.
Yeah.
But other than traveling with Warrior fans. By the way, how long is that commute, by the way?
It's a minute. Like door to door, it's like an hour 40 minutes or so.
You were in a train for hour 40 minutes with Warrior fans?
No. Door to door. So like leaving the house and then walking through the doors at work. But like riding the BART.
Oh, okay.
Riding the BART in itself is probably about 50 minutes.
Oh, that's too long.
Yeah. It was. I was there for a minute, man. It was not an enjoyable ride. It's usually not an enjoyable ride, but it was an exceptionally unenjoyable ride that day.
So, what else doesn't make it enjoyable? I mean, excluding like Warrior fans and all that. Why does it suck?
Well, mainly just public transportation for me is just not a way I want to live my life. Like, I don't want to be shoulder to shoulder with strangers. I don't want to grab on the railings that I know they don't clean. To make sure I don't fall on somebody I don't know. Sometimes I don't want to sit in the seats that I know they don't clean, that somebody probably pissed in at one time or another. And then just the time it takes, man. I realized I got punked the other day. I had my headphones in and I was like looking at my phone. Maybe for a song or something to read. I don't really know, but this is before I get on. And there was like a line, to get on. And I just kind of walk. I walk to around the mid of the line, not like cutting in front of people. I'm like off to the side a little bit. Just kind of just standing there. And this little dude, he goes, "Hey, the line's back there." Right? And again, I'm not really paying attention. I just turn and just walk to the back of the line. And then as I get there, I'm like, this motherfucker just punked me out in front of all these people. I was like, damn,
that's hilarious. Yeah.
I wish I was in a better mind state. I would have said something back, like a quip. Like, who are you, motherfucker, Bart Police? Or, congratulations, hall monitor, you caught another one. You know, I would have said something just back. I don't know. I mean, he's right, don't get me wrong, but fuck him. Who do you think he's talking to? But I listened, and I walked my ass right to the end of the line.
Hey, that is hilarious, man, because I've had similar situations where, and luckily for you, I mean, you maybe realized it sooner than I did, but it's been times where I've been punked, and it's like 2 days later, I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. We went to there's like some fancy ass museum, and you kind of got to take like a trolley to get to the museum, right? I mean, it's free. It's free, but me personally, I'd rather just drive to this bitch, but whatever. So you got to take this trolley or whatever, right? And it's cramped, you know. It's like a subway. It's cramped, and it's maybe like, I don't know, I would say 30 people in one car, and they only got about, I don't know, 10 seats, and everybody else is standing. So what happened was, the reason why I got punked and didn't realize it, because I remember telling my girl, I was like, damn, this shit is like how it is probably riding in a subway in New York. And literally, as I finished that sentence, a guy is like trying to make his way to the front of the car. Like, where he was going, I don't know. And I guess like I really didn't see him coming. And so I didn't, like, you know, common courtesy, kind of like move out the way, you know. And in like the most New York accent ever, he's like, hey buddy, I'm walking here. You know? I'm like, I was just taking back, oh shit, this nigga's from New York. I was like, oh my bad. And I just let him go. I was like, yeah, I was like, he's like legit from New York. I remember telling my chick, you know, we go to the museum. Sunday rolls around. Monday rolls around. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. Like, what the fuck? You know? But I was just taken aback by how thick his New York accent was. Man, yeah, I've been there, bruh. I've been there.
Yeah. Even,
and you want that get back. You want that. You hope you run into him again.
Yeah, even gangsters like us get caught slipping from time to time.
Right. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I've been embarrassed about it. I've been embarrassed about it since it happened. Like, here's me, 6'3" black man, about 205, getting punked out by about 5'6", 5'7", balding man.
5'6".
Couldn't have been no more than about 145, 150. Hey, the back of the line's right there. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but you know what though? You know, I have been on the other end where, you know, my younger days. You know, when you're younger, you know, in your 20s, you tend to take things as disrespect, and sometimes it's not always the case. And I'm keeping it real. This is a true story, and I feel bad. To this day, I feel bad. But I was at the Oakland airport, and I'm in line. You know, waiting to get my whatever that shit is, to get whatever the ticket scanned or whatever, right?
Uh-huh.
And
the security checkpoint.
And this younger, well, not this older guy. He's like 5'4". You know, he's an older black guy, and you know he looks like a scholar. Like, you know, he's carrying all these books, dressed like he's about to go teach a class at Harvard, right? But I didn't. He literally just cuts in front of me. And I'm like, okay, motherfucker, you just gonna cut in front of me? Like, I just said it. Like, just, you know? Like, ready for some action, you know?
At the airport.
And
you're doing time,
period. At the airport.
Yeah.
Right. And he turns around, he's like, brother, I'm so sorry. It's been a long day. I'm on my way to pick up my daughter. She's extremely sick, and my bad. I remember, like, well, yeah.
Yeah, motherfucker,
Yeah,
it's about
that's
to be
right.
a worse day for you.
Right. I remember getting on that plane. I'm like, oh man, I'm a piece of shit. Like I just thought it was just automatic disrespect. And he was having a bad day, and he was in his own world, bruh. But lesson learned. Yeah.
Yeah, but this guy, the whole time I'm thinking, he felt like a big man. He felt like, yo, yeah, motherfucker, get to the back. Yeah. I know he felt.
Oh yeah.
He felt.
Yeah.
Like, he went home and told that story to his wife, girlfriend, cat, or dog. Like, I don't know who listens to him, but he definitely went home and told that story. He went to work and told that story. He told that story to the person who sat next to him on BART. And then there was this guy who tried to cut the line. And he was a big guy, too.
And
he was about 6'5", about 240. I was like, hey, listen, buddy, you got to get to the back of the line. I know. That's exactly how it happened.
But you're wrong about one thing. That story he tells, it starts off like, so whipped a big black dude's ass on the subway yesterday. It's highly exaggerated.
Yeah.
Threw him in an arm bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he pushed me in the shoulder, kind of mushed my face. Yeah. Let me catch that motherfucker again. I'm cutting him specifically. You heard it first, Fried Bologna. I am cutting him, and I'm ready for it. I'm ready for his fucking Superman fucking mentality that he can just tell strangers what to do.
Hey, but look, just a warning from a friend. Okay, and we both know that I've won some fights and I've lost some fights. Look, all I'm gonna tell you is this. I'm just gonna tell you this. The sport of MMA is growing in popularity, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. Okay, just be careful because there are a lot of people who can take him
right on those tracks,
and then he'll get up, brush himself off. I'm like, okay, well, let's do this. Usually, if you throw somebody across a room, they're like, oh shit, and they whimper away. But I've witnessed stuff where it's just like a big guy's picking a little guy, and the little guy's like, oh, you want to fight? Okay, well, let me put my glasses away, and you want to do it here? I'm like, oh shit.
I'm gonna have to just shake his hand.
He's ready for this.
Like, you know what, man?
Take that L, man.
I was tripping. You right. Let me get my ass to the back of the line. Save myself further embarrassment.
Come home looking like Martin after he fought Tommy Hearns, man. You don't want that, man. The swelling don't go down all the time, man. It take a while.
Yeah. I would definitely be working from home for the next week or so.
Working from home, got his ass whipped. Yeah.
What else you got, man?
Just I'm a tech head, and I just saw something online. 2020 technology is going to be taking pretty much all our jobs, with AI and robots and shit. And there are certain professions I thought like, well, certain professions will always be around, like, and one of them was just like, like tailors, like, when you're about to, look sharp, you go to a tailor and he does you proper. Like, he fits that suit to a T. And if you go to a good tailor, there's nothing like it. I mean, it's an experience and you feel good. And I'm not talking about men's warehouse bullshit. I'm talking about a proper tailor. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I'm online, and the title of the article is like, this high-tech scan is the future of clothing. Well, let me click on this, right? Click on it, and basically these guys have created something where you stand in this it's like a pod, and you stand there for 30 seconds. Now, in addition to telling you stuff like about like your body fat percentage and precursors to certain diseases, small shit.
Yeah, the usual. Right.
Yeah. It gives you perfect, exact measurements to clothes. Not only that, it also matches stores that would best fit your body type. So it's like, oh, you're a husky dude. So H&M probably isn't the best. Here are recommendations to find proper clothes based on these measurements. Bruh, Tailor's about to go out of business, man.
Where do I sign
Robots
up?
are taking over.
Because it is difficult for me to find clothes. And I've been measured by a tailor before, mainly for a wedding. And maybe the suit was just shitty. But they can't seem to get that shit right. So I'm on board. Sometimes you got to go out of business in order for us to move forward. So,
yeah, I mean, look, I'm all for tech improving our lives. It's just kind of like, I mean, that technology I just told you about, that's wiping out a couple industries there. You know, it's just like, damn, man, shit's getting real out here. But on the other hand, that leads me to two things that don't mix.
oh shit.
Yeah. Talking about technology, so it's gonna be kind of surprising that I say this to you, but two things that don't mix: technology and productivity. I'll explain. And it literally, like, this is an epiphany. And I had it at the end of the work week. Technology, making our lives better, making things easier, automation, blockchain, all this cool stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm just going to read some things to you that I heard over the course of a work week. And I'm just going to read them bland, but you'll get the gist of it. Here they are. My damn Wi-Fi is acting up again. This fucking Apple iPhone battery kills me. My damn navigation is fucked up in my GPS car. My Outlook isn't responding. My computer froze. My iPod won't turn on. I'm unable to send this email. You didn't get my text? Bruh.
I see
Bruh.
I see where you're going.
Technology is actually giving us more headache than it is helping us. You know why? Because it barely fucking works. Like, Apple is providing stuff where it's like, oh, this new iPhone, you can scan your fingertip and it opens up the phone, and now we're gonna have retinal scans and face recognition. It's like, but y'all just gonna overlook the fact that the fucking battery just lasts about 2 minutes. Shit like that. So that's all. This is a rant, but two things that don't mix: technology and productivity.
Like Chris Rock said on Bigger and Blacker, they can make spaceships that can withstand thousands of degrees, but they can't make a Cadillac with a bumper don't fall off. Like,
our priorities are fucked up, man.
The further technology pushes us forward, it seems like the simple things, the fundamentals, get neglected.
Yeah. And you know, like, the big thing for me is, I think we grew up in this era where it's like, you know, technology is flourishing, right? And you start to kind of feel you take the current tech that you have for granted, but you start to feel privileged because, like, I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I'm guilty of this. I remember being stuck in traffic 2 days ago, you know, commute. And I thought to myself, fuck, it's 2018, we don't got no fucking transporters? Bruh. Like, yeah, bruh, we're working on it, but yeah, it's coming. Sorry. Star Trek nailed it, but we can't do it in real life yet. We're becoming impatient on everything.
I don't think they'll ever be able to transport us. Because you really got to think of what transporting really is. I don't want to get too scientific on everybody. Because because I'm probably really wrong. However, hear me out. So transporting someone is, taking their physical self, breaking them up into trillions of pieces and reassembling them back in another location, right? That's what transporting is?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if you were broken up into a trillion pieces, doesn't that mean you die?
One would think, yeah, you're decapitated and all, like you're dismembered and all that stuff, yeah.
And then you're getting reassembled in another place. So in actuality, that's not really you.
Right. Like there's going to be a lot of trial and error there. Now here's my counter argument to that. And it's just a statement. They're working on it. They're working on it. And and when I say they're working on it, they were able to transport an object. Now, for me personally, that's fucking scary because I felt like maybe our grandkids would get to the point where it's like, okay, we can transport objects now, but they're working on it. So who knows? Now, the other thing is, we have a mutual friend from Hawaii, and me and him did some business together, and this is like back in 2010. This is a conversation we had. I said, hey man, you're not gonna believe this, but I read an article where there's companies flourishing around California where they're doing 3D printing. He said, what the fuck do you mean? I said, well, you see this mug? It's like it no longer has to be made. They can just print it. And it soon we'll be able to print stuff in our homes. He's like, you're a fucking idiot. That's never gonna happen. Last week, Vice, the news channel, did a 30-minute feature on the future of 3D printing. And here's where they're at now. They can print things like a rocket that is built to go to Mars in about 12 weeks. Normally, that would take about 12 months.
Or 12 years. Wait. They're printing rockets.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
and I know a lot of people will not believe this, but yeah.
They can probably print weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah. There's
all right,
there have been some arrests made. There've been some arrests made where some really smart kids have been able to print weapons, like print guns. And what's so mind-boggling about this is because it's like they can print functional things, like they can print keyboards, and like the components of those keyboards are all working parts. It's like that sophisticated. They can print something that has like 1 million parts and do it within 2-3 hours. Yeah, bruh. Check out that Vice News, y'all.
Yeah,
real.
So basically, these robots are going to start printing weapons to enslave us all. And yeah, all right. Well, IQ, I guess we'll just keep doing this podcast until we get shut down by some robots.
Yeah, the way I envision it happening is we're doing this podcast and this huge fucking portal opens and it's like this really buff dude with an Austrian accent and he's like, come with me if you want to live, and that's fucking Skynet. That's how it's gonna happen.
Well, if that buff guy with an Austrian accent actually did appear and say, come with me if you want to live, would you go with him?
No, I'm taking on my Glock and I'm blasting. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? And he's butt ass naked? Nah. I'm like, bruh, I'm sorry. Here you go. Here's 2 to the head. But
yeah,
then he takes
sounds
that
like
shit.
A rape-like situation. But if he's you shoot him twice in the head and he doesn't die, and he's not even mad.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, I said, come with me if you want to live. Do you just go now?
Okay, but then I'll be no, because this is when Terminator turns into like being really black. Because I'll be okay. Wait, let me. What do you mean? Like, how am I gonna die if I stay here?
No time to explain.
But well, how? Like,
I'll tell you later. Do you go?
I'm like, hey, look, Terminator. I appreciate the heads up, man, but I'm gonna just
gonna take your chances.
Yeah, I'm gonna just take my chances, bruh.
Are
you gonna go? You just gonna take a naked man's hand and just go into a portal?
So why you gotta put it like that?
That's what it is. That nigga's arriving naked.
First, let's put him on some clothes. All right, then we can have a sensible conversation.
Okay, so let's say like fast forward, he already jacked the bikers and he has clothes.
What's that?
I mean, like, I feel like he's going to reach out and he's gonna like ask for your hand. He's not gonna just say, "Hey, follow me in this portal." I feel like, I mean, maybe I watched too many movies, but I feel like that's what always happens. You have to take the dude's hand into the portal.
I don't know. I feel like John Connor wasn't holding his hand. Didn't he just grab John Connor's wrist and made him come with him? Isn't that how it happened?
Okay, so you gonna let a grown man just grab you by the wrist and drag you into a portal? I'm like, hey,
this
man.
This motherfucker is buff, naked, and a robot. Something tells me I have very little control.
Oh, man. Hey, that is a real fucking dilemma, though, really.
Yeah, and I got a daughter, so I'm be like, yo, can we stop by my baby mom's house and grab my daughter first?
And then what if he's like, no time? What are you gonna do?
Then I'm taking my chances.
What do you do?
I'm not leaving without my seed, son.
Oh, man. Jeez,
so,
man.
Bologna homies,
okay, so
we're gonna give you this scenario. What would you do? Are you going with buff, naked, Austrian accent dude? Or are you taking your chances?
Cyborg from the future? Yeah, please let us know. Because I'm torn. I don't know.
Because something tells me the next 5 minutes or so are going to get really weird and really scary. So either I go or T-1000 busts down my door and I'm incapable of defending myself against him.
Right. But then let's say you do go, okay, and you guys, you're in your apartment complex, you guys go down to a car, it appears to be stolen, which it probably is stolen. He stole a car.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, a police officer comes out of nowhere and he just sends you a shotgun. It's like, blast that fool. I'm like, wait, what is I'll become a cop killer here now. And
yeah, I think I could do that. I think I could. I mean, again, this dude deep down you want to, but then it's like you're just saying, a stranger says, "Hey, blast this cop," and you're black. I mean, turn it on straight out of Compton.
Mm-hmm.
We're turning on this track. Fuck the police.
Mm-hmm.
And we are killing that Capri Sun ooze motherfucker. That's what's happening.
And then somehow, some shit goes down. He's fighting all these other bad cyborgs from the future. You guys get split up, and you get arrested, and you tell the cops what happened. You're like, yeah, man, here's what happened. Cyborg from the future told me to blast this cop. Now the cop is also a cyborg. They're like, okay, come with us. You're getting a chair, buddy. But hopefully you get rescued. I don't know. Shady rescue Sarah Connor from a mental hospital.
In that scenario, am I still a black man? Because
yes, you're a black man. Yeah,
I am who I am, and they have knowledge of me killing a cop. They're killing me on the spot.
So I guess we answered our question. You can't fucking go with Arnold. You can't. Because you're gonna be seen on footage blasting cops. You're
Yeah,
you
but
either get killed in the future
or get killed in the present. Yo, I gotta go. We gotta go. That seems like my best chance of survival is killing cyborg cops and going with naked Austrian buff guy who kind of resembles Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay. Last question for you, and this is probably the most important question. So let's just say the same scenario. You guys go down to the parking structure of your apartment, and keep in mind, hey, like the movie, let's just say he's butt ass naked, right? And he's like,
that's a very important.
He's like,
detail.
hop on. He's like, hop on, and it's a motorcycle. Oh God!
And he's driving naked,
butt naked, and you gotta.
I gotta hold.
you got, Yeah, I'm like, can we look? I'm gonna try to jumpstart this pickup. He's like, no time. I'm like, oh God.
But at the time the motorcycle
it'll take 2 minutes.
happened, Arnold had a leather jacket and some jeans and some boots at the time. So why does he have to be naked in this scenario?
Well, I'm just saying in this scenario, like I'm saying, like if he comes through the portal and it's the first time you're meeting him, and it just so happens that he didn't have time to grab the biker's jacket. What are you gonna do?
I'm giving him some of my
That's the
clothes.
problem.
He's putting on some Jordan shorts and a wife beater, and then I don't know what size shoe he wears, but we're putting him on some of my least desired shoes, and we're getting the fuck out of it. I don't care how much time it takes. He's a cyborg. I mean, worst case scenario, we're just going to have to go into battle a little sooner than we planned.
Yeah. I just feel like every answer would be like, no time. I'm like, bro, what do we have time for, bruh? You run around fucking naked around here, man. Come on.
Yeah,
Damn.
Don't you? Well, okay. Well, here's a question. He's naked, right? But does he have human body parts? Like, does he have a cyborg dick? Or is it like Ken doll? Like, there's just nothing there.
Oh, you know what? That's a good question. I don't think they ever really addressed it in the movie. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is just Ken doll.
Because it's Ken doll.
Okay.
I don't feel uncomfortable at all. I mean, then again, I'm grabbing around, the waist of a buff guy because I don't want to fall off the motorcycle. That might make me a little. I mean, that's the least I have to worry about. I don't got to worry about a cyborg dick flopping around this whole time either. Like, that makes me feel a little better.
Yeah, and then I guess if he does like Ken doll, I guess it's okay. Well, given the fact that you don't have any male genitalia, then I guess you are probably a robot from the future because that just,
So basically, you're saying now, prove to me that you're a robot. You're gonna have to put him through some tests that he's a robot first before you decide to go with him. Because I think that's fair.
If a dude comes through a portal, is like, I'm a robot from the future, come with me if you want to live. I'm like, prove it. 1-800-PROVE IT. www.proveit.com, bro. Yeah, I'm just not gonna roll with you.
Yeah.
So it's like you gotta like either lift something up that's really heavy and like throw it across the room, or
you're gonna have to download fucking Dragon's album right to your hard drive right now.
And spit all the lyrics. Yeah.
Play it. Open your mouth.
I need some proof.
And play it. Like, you got Bose speakers in your mouth. So let's hear it.
Yeah. I'm not gonna just take your word for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Right.
Like, if Sarah Connor was black, the movie would be like 8 hours long because half of the movie would just be like, I need some more proof, bruh. Yeah, we tend to be skeptical. It'd be like part 1 would be like 4 parts. Yeah.
Damn, this conversation spiraled out of control.
Technology, bro. Technology.
Yeah.
Shout out to Elon.
I guess on that note, maybe we should just wrap it up like I didn't when I lost my virginity. Yeah,
man. That was a hell of a call, man. It's a pleasure, bro. Pleasure.
Hey, man, the pleasure was all mine. Now our listeners got a little deeper insight on the men we've become.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So anyway, man, as always, we're just a couple of suburban hood niggas out here trying not to get abducted by a buff, cyborg, naked, Austrian accented individual trying to not make us die. At the end of the day, that's just who we are.
Amen, brother. Amen.
All right, man, you take it easy.
All right, man. You too. Peace.
Peace.